A robot just beat 3 professional table tennis players. Not the same player 3 times. 3 different professionals. All ranked, all competing under official International Table Tennis Federation rules. All scored by licensed umpires calling every point. 12 months ago, that same robot lost every match it played against a professional. Every single one. Sony published the full results in Nature, the most prestigious scientific journal on the planet, this past Wednesday, April 23, 2026. Let me show you exactly what they built, how it actually works, and why this story has almost nothing to do with table tennis. The robot is called Ace. It was built by Sony AI, not Sony's consumer electronics division. Sony's dedicated artificial intelligence research lab based in Tokyo. Ace was not built to entertain. It was not built to show up at a trade show. It was built to answer one very specific question that has sat at the center of robotics research for more than 30 years. Can a machine perceive a fast-moving physical object, predict what it is going to do next, and respond faster and more accurately than a trained human? Table tennis is the ideal test for that question. Not golf, not archery, not a game where you have seconds to think. Table tennis. A ball traveling at speeds up to 130 kilometers per hour, arriving in milliseconds, spinning in ways that require reading subtle visual cues, the angle of the opponent's paddle, the arc, the bounce physics, the spin axis, all before the ball has even crossed the net. And then you have to return it, every time, against an opponent who is actively trying to make that as hard as possible. The challenge is not just raw speed, it is the combination of perception, prediction, and physical precision, all happening simultaneously, in real time, with a human across the net adapting every single shot based on what you just did. For decades, robots could do isolated pieces of this. They could track a ball, they could swing an arm, they could do one in isolation, under controlled conditions, with predictable inputs. What they could not do was integrate all of it fast enough, and accurately enough, to actually compete with a trained human in a real match. Ace just did, and the progression of how it got there is where this story starts to get genuinely interesting. But the number buried in the technical section of that Nature paper, the one that tells you exactly how this was done, is where it gets important. Let me walk you through how Ace actually works, because the specifications Sony published are striking. Ace's vision system tracks the table tennis ball in 3-dimensional space at 200 cycles per second. 200 measurements per second of the ball's exact position in 3D space. The average spatial error in that tracking is 3 millimeters. The time from when Ace observes the ball to when it issues a motor command is 10.2 milliseconds on average. 10 milliseconds! For context, the average human reaction time to a visual stimulus is around 200 milliseconds. Ace is issuing commands at roughly 20 times the speed of a human reflex. And that is before the arm actually moves. Now here is what Sony is careful to say, and what I think is important to be honest about. Raw reaction speed is not the whole story. A professional table tennis player does not simply react faster than you or me. What they do is anticipate. They read the spin before the ball has left the opponent's paddle. They identify the likely trajectory before the ball has even bounced. They are not responding to what just happened. They are predicting what is about to happen, based on thousands of hours of pattern recognition built up over years of competition. That is a fundamentally different capability than pure reaction speed, and it is much, much harder to replicate in a machine. So Sony built Ace to do both. The perception system handles the reaction side, 200 Hz tracking, 10 milliseconds to command. The learning system handles the anticipation side. Ace was trained using model-free reinforcement learning. That means it did not learn from a textbook of table tennis rules. It learned the same way a human athlete learns, by playing a very large number of matches and figuring out through trial and error what works, what doesn't, and how to improve. The progression over the past 12 months tells the story clearly. In April 2025, Sony ran Ace against 5 elite players and 2 professionals under full competition conditions. ITTF rules, licensed umpires, real match stakes. Ace won 3 of its 5 matches against elite players. Against the 2 professionals, it lost both matches. 8 months later, in December 2025, Ace played again. This time it beat one of the professionals it had previously lost to. 1 win, 2 losses against professionals. Progress, but not enough to call it solved. Then March 2026. Sony brought in 3 new professional players. Players Ace had never faced before. No prior data. No match history. No pattern recognition advantage from having played them previously. Ace beat all three, at least once each. That last detail is the one that matters. A robot that can only beat opponents it is trained against is a robot that has memorized patterns. A robot that beats opponents it has never seen before is a robot that has learned to play. There is a word in robotics research for the ability to perform well in new, previously unseen situations. It is called generalization. And generalization is, without question, the hardest unsolved problem in the entire field of physical AI. The reason robots are still so constrained in everyday tasks is not that they cannot move. Industrial robots have moved with extraordinary precision for 40 years. The reason is that the real world is unpredictable. A box arrives at a slightly different angle. A surface is not quite level. A human reaches across unexpectedly. The robot, trained on specific scenarios, fails when reality diverges from training. Ace playing 3 professional players it had never faced, and winning, is a generalization result. Under high-stakes conditions, documented by Sony's research team and peer-reviewed by Nature. That is the first time I can point to a real-world physical robot producing a clean generalization result in a competitive, uncontrolled environment. And here's what that unlocks for the rest of the industry. There is a paragraph near the end of the Nature paper that Sony published almost as a footnote. I want to read you the core of what it says. Ace's vision system is built on event-based sensors, a technology manufactured by Sony Semiconductor Solutions, a separate division of Sony Group. The reinforcement learning system is proprietary to Sony AI. The high-speed actuator hardware, the joints, the motors, the mechanical design, was custom-built for this specific application. Sony did not assemble Ace from parts, they built the entire stack. Sensors, intelligence, mechanics, all designed together, all optimized for the same goal. That is when this story stops being about table tennis and starts being about the economics of the robotics industry. Because every humanoid robot company in the world right now is racing toward the same technical finish line. A robot that can operate in genuinely unstructured environments, generalize to novel situations, move with enough speed and precision to be useful, and do all of this reliably enough to be trusted at scale without constant human supervision. Figure AI is racing toward that finish line. Apptronik is, Boston Dynamics is, Tesla with Optimus is, Unitree, Agibot, UB every company on that list is spending billions trying to solve exactly the same set of technical problems. And Sony, in an adjacent application, building a robot to play table tennis for research purposes, just published a detailed, peer-reviewed technical blueprint showing that those problems are solvable right now with existing technology. The perception stack is solved. 200 Hz, 10 milliseconds, 3 millimeters. The generalization stack is solved, at least in the narrow sense of one physical sport, against novel opponents. The integration, running all of it simultaneously in real time, is solved. Sony published the recipe. Every robotics lab on the planet has now read it. Let me be honest about what Ace is and what it is not, because this is the part where you have to hold two things in your head at the same time. Ace is not a humanoid robot. It is a fixed industrial arm mounted on a custom platform. It cannot walk. It cannot pick up a box off a warehouse floor. It cannot navigate an unstructured environment. It plays table tennis and does nothing else. What it demonstrates is not a finished product. It demonstrates a proof of concept for the technical components that a general-purpose robot would need. Specifically, perception fast enough to handle real-world physics, learning sophisticated enough to generalize, and a hardware-software integration tight enough to make both work together under pressure. Those are the components that matter. And they now have a working demonstration. Now here is where the capital market side of this becomes very clear. Figure AI's valuation hit $39 billion in September 2025. That is a 15 times increase from the $2.6 billion valuation they carried just 18 months earlier. The investors in that round include NVIDIA, Intel Capital, Salesforce, and Brookfield Asset Management. Apptronik raised $935 million earlier this year at a $5 billion valuation. Their backers include Google DeepMind, Mercedes-Benz, John Deere, and the Qatar Investment Authority. UB Robotics, a Chinese company, secured a $1 billion credit line to fund a new production facility in the Middle East. These are not small bets on speculative technology. These are large, structured bets by sophisticated institutional investors who have done the technical diligence. And the Sony ACE paper is now part of the public technical record that justifies those bets. Because if the hardest technical problems, perception, prediction, generalization, are already solved in a research setting, then the remaining question is engineering and scale. Engineering and scale are problems that capital solves. And there is a lot of capital in this industry right now. But there is a second dimension to this story that CNBC ran 2 days before the Sony paper published. And it changes how you should think about who wins. On April 21, 2026, 2 days before Sony published the ACE paper in Nature, CNBC ran a story with a headline that deserves significantly more attention than it received. The headline: China ships more humanoid robots than the US as investors diverge on AI bets. The numbers inside it are worth understanding clearly. In 2025, Chinese companies took the top 6 spots in global humanoid robot shipments. All 6. Nearly 90% of every humanoid robot sold anywhere in the world last year came from a Chinese manufacturer. Unitree alone, one Chinese company, shipped 36 times more units last year than Figure AI and Tesla Optimus combined. 36 times more. And yet American companies are valued at multiples of their Chinese counterparts. Figure AI at $39 billion, Apptronic at $5 billion. Chinese companies, shipping far more hardware, are valued far lower. This is not an accident. It reflects a specific thesis that institutional investors have placed. They believe that American companies are building AI platforms, that the value is in the intelligence layer, the data, the learning systems, the software that makes robots capable of generalized tasks. And they believe Chinese companies are primarily hardware manufacturers, excellent at producing units at scale, less differentiated on the intelligence layer that will ultimately define which robots are actually useful. Whether that thesis holds is one of the most important open questions in this industry. Because China is not standing still on the AI layer. Unitree, Agibot, and UB Tech are all investing heavily in their own AI stacks. And the structural advantage of shipping 36 times more units is that you collect 36 times more real-world operating data. More data means faster learning cycles. Faster learning means faster capability improvement. That is exactly the loop that allowed Chinese EV companies to move from nowhere to globally competitive in under a decade. BYD did not win on initial technology leadership. They won by producing volume, iterating fast, and closing the gap while Western companies were still debating whether the threat was real. The same dynamic is now running in humanoid robotics. And the Sony ACE paper adds a layer on top of that. If the research on physical AI generalization is now publishable in Nature, meaning it is solved well enough to withstand peer review at the highest scientific standard, then the remaining advantage is who can translate that research into production hardware fastest. The US has the capital. China has the production volume. Neither has a lock on the outcome. Let me be direct about both sides of this. The optimistic case. US companies with superior AI capabilities and massive investment will build robots that are significantly more capable than Chinese competitors, and capability will ultimately determine which robots get deployed at scale in the highest value environments: hospitals, logistics networks, semiconductor manufacturing. The pessimistic case. The capability gap closes faster than expected. Chinese manufacturers hit 30, 40, 50,000 units per year, while US companies are still scaling up, and the data advantage compounds until it is insurmountable. Both of those outcomes are live right now. Neither is decided. That is why the Sony ACE paper matters as a signal, not just as a technical result. It tells you the ceiling on physical AI capability is higher than the market understood a year ago, and it is being approached from both directions at the same time. Here is where I would land on all of this. Sony built a table tennis robot and published it in Nature. That sentence sounds niche. It is not. What they published is a proof of concept for the full physical AI stack. Perception at 200 Hz, prediction through reinforcement learning, generalization to novel opponents, that every humanoid robot company in the world is trying to build into their hardware. The science is done. What remains is engineering, production, and the capital to fund both. On the engineering side, you now have a detailed technical blueprint published in the most credible scientific venue on the planet. On the capital side, you have Figure AI at $39 billion, Apptronic at $5 billion, and Chinese manufacturers collectively shipping 90% of the world's humanoid robots. The race has left the research lab. What happens over the next 24 months is going to be determined by who can turn that research into reliable, cost-effective hardware, and who can get to 10,000 operating hours in real-world environments first. That number, 10,000 cumulative operating hours in uncontrolled environments, is the threshold where the data gets rich enough to train the next generation of learning systems at scale. Nobody is there yet, but the companies with the most production volume are getting there fastest. If you want to track this week by week as it develops, the actual numbers, the actual results, not the press releases, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We cover this every week. There are 2 videos on this channel worth watching alongside this one. One covers NVIDIA's physical AI strategy and what GR00T actually changes about robot training. The other covers how China built its manufacturing advantage in robotics and why it is harder to close than most people assume. Both linked in the description below. I will see you in the next one.